2015 was a legendary year for PC gaming. From heart-pounding action to unforgettable storytelling, the games that dropped this year truly left their mark. Whether you're a longtime fan or just curious about the classics, we've got you covered. So grab your keyboard, crank up the volume, and let's dive into the top 10 PC games of 2015 you absolutely shouldn't miss. The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt is an open-world action role-playing game developed and published by CD Projekt Red, initially released on May 19, 2015. It is available on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X/S, Microsoft Windows, and Nintendo Switch. The game follows Geralt of Rivia, a skilled monster hunter known as a Witcher, on a quest to find his adopted daughter Ciri, who is being hunted by a mysterious spectral force called the Wild Hunt. Set in a massive, war-torn fantasy world, the story explores deep themes of destiny, family, and moral ambiguity, and is shaped by the player's choices, often with long-term consequences. The gameplay experience is rich and immersive, offering a seamless open world filled with diverse regions like war-ravaged Vilin, the bustling city of Novigrad, and the rugged Isles of Skellige. Players explore on horseback or by boat, uncovering secrets, hidden treasures, and engaging side stories. Combat is fluid and strategic, combining fast-paced swordplay, magical abilities, signs, alchemy-based potions, and monster-specific tactics. The game also features a dynamic dialogue system that alters the story based on player decisions. A detailed crafting and gear upgrade system encourages exploration and preparation before taking on powerful enemies. Beyond combat, players can engage in mini-games like Gwent, a strategic card game, horse races, fistfights, and even romantic relationships. The main story begins with Geralt tracking Ciri across the continent, meeting old allies and enemies, and battling increasingly dangerous foes. The ending varies based on the player's actions, ultimately deciding Ciri's fate and the future of the world. The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt received universal acclaim for its storytelling, world-building, and gameplay, winning Game of the Year at the Game Awards 2015 and earning over 800 awards, making it one of the most acclaimed video games of all time. Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain is an open-world stealth action game developed by Kojima Productions and published by Konami, released on September 1, 2015. It is available on PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and Microsoft Windows. The game follows Venom Snake, also known as Big Boss, as he awakens from a 9-year coma following the events of Ground Zeroes. Set during the Cold War in 1984, Snake sets out to rebuild his private army and seek revenge on those who destroyed his forces, all while uncovering a larger conspiracy involving nuclear weapons and powerful biotechnology. The gameplay offers a deeply immersive open-world experience, set across vast and realistic environments in Afghanistan and Central Africa. Unlike traditional stealth games, The Phantom Pain gives players full freedom to approach missions in countless ways, whether through stealth, direct assault, or creative use of tools and companions like D-Dog, Quiet, or a horse. Players can call in air support, customize weapons and gear, and manage a growing home base called Mother Base, recruiting soldiers and developing new technology. The Fulton recovery system allows players to extract soldiers, vehicles, and even animals from the battlefield to support their cause. Dynamic weather, day-night cycles, and advanced enemy AI create a responsive and unpredictable battlefield. The narrative is deep and layered, exploring themes of identity, revenge, and the cost of war. While the game begins with Snake's recovery and initial missions in enemy territories, it gradually unfolds into a haunting and philosophical story about manipulation and loss. The ending delivers a powerful twist that challenges the player's understanding of who they've been playing as all along. Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain received widespread critical acclaim for its gameplay mechanics, open-world design, and attention to detail. It won several awards, including Best Action/Adventure Game at the Game Awards 2015, and is widely considered one of the most ambitious stealth games ever made. Fallout 4 is an open-world action role-playing game developed and published by Bethesda Game Studios, released on November 10, 2015. It is available on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Microsoft Windows. Set in a post-apocalyptic version of Boston and its surrounding areas, the game begins in the year 2077, moments before a nuclear war erupts. Players take on the role of the sole survivor, the only person to emerge from Vault 111, stepping into a devastated world over 200 years later, on a mission to find their kidnapped son and uncover the dark secrets behind his disappearance. The gameplay delivers a deep and expansive experience, combining open-world exploration, first- and third-person shooting mechanics, and rich role-playing elements. Players can customize their character's appearance, stats, and abilities through the SPECAL system, which influences skills like strength, intelligence, and charisma. Combat is a mix of real-time action and strategic targeting through the VATS system, which lets you pause the action and target specific enemy body parts for maximum effect. The world is filled with dangerous creatures, rogue robots, rival factions, and irradiated mutants, all of which can be battled, negotiated with, or avoided, depending on the player's choices. Fallout 4 also introduced robust crafting and settlement building systems. Players can collect junk and scrap from the environment to build weapons, armor, and fully customizable settlements, creating homes and safe havens for survivors. Dialogue options and moral choices allow players to shape their story, align with different factions like the Brotherhood of Steel, the Institute, or the Minutemen, and ultimately decide the future of the wasteland. The story begins in a moment of peace and quickly turns into a tale of survival, loss, and discovery. As players search for their son, they uncover a web of science, politics, and ethical dilemmas involving synthetic humans, artificial intelligence, and the question of what makes us truly human. The ending branches based on the alliances and choices made throughout the journey. Fallout 4 received critical acclaim for its world design, content depth, and exploration, winning awards such as Best Game at the 2016 BAFTA Game Awards and Best RPG at the Game Awards 2015. With its vast world, player freedom, and replayability, Fallout 4 remains one of the most beloved entries in the Fallout series. Ori and the Blind Forest is a visually stunning action platformer developed by Moon Studios and published by Microsoft Studios, released on March 11, 2015. It is available on Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and Microsoft Windows. The game tells an emotional and beautifully crafted story about Ori, a small guardian spirit, and their journey to save a dying forest called Nibel after a devastating storm sets off a chain of catastrophic events. The story begins with Ori being separated from the spirit tree and raised by a creature named Neru, in a touching, wordless prologue that sets the tone for a tale of love, loss, and hope. When tragedy strikes and the forest begins to decay, Ori sets out alone, guided by a light named Sane, to restore the balance of nature and uncover the truth behind the forest's collapse. Along the way, Ori faces ancient mysteries, treacherous landscapes, and a dark force that threatens to consume everything. Gameplay in Ori and the Blind Forest combines tight platforming mechanics with light combat and puzzle solving. Inspired by classic Metroidvania design, the world is interconnected, encouraging exploration and backtracking as Ori gains new abilities like double jumps, wall climbing, dashes, and more. The movement is fluid and precise, requiring skill and timing as players traverse through beautifully hand-drawn environments. One of the game's unique mechanics is the Soul Link system, which allows players to create custom save points, adding a strategic layer to progression and survival. The game features intense escape sequences, emotional cutscenes, and a stunning orchestral score that heightens the experience. Ori and the Blind Forest received widespread acclaim for its art direction, music, storytelling, and gameplay, winning awards such as Best Art Direction from IGN and Outstanding Achievement in Animation from the DICE Awards. With its heartfelt narrative and polished platforming, it remains a modern classic beloved by players around the world. Dying Light is an open-world first-person survival horror game developed by Techland and published by Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment, released on January 27, 2015. Available on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Microsoft Windows, the game drops players into the quarantined city of Heron, overrun by a deadly virus that has turned much of the population into aggressive, flesh-eating infected. Players take on the role of Kyle Crane, an undercover operative sent to infiltrate the city and retrieve sensitive information, but quickly finds himself caught between the demands of his mission and the plight of the survivors. The story begins with Crane parachuting into Heron, only to be ambushed and forced into a world of chaos where alliances are fragile and danger lurks around every corner. As he gains the trust of the local survivors, Crane uncovers the truth about the virus, the city's tyrannical warlord Rice, and the organization he works for. The journey transforms into a race against time to find a cure and protect what's left of humanity, while questioning who the real monsters are. Gameplay in Dying Light blends high-octane parkour with brutal melee combat and survival elements. Players can scale buildings, leap across rooftops, and navigate the decaying urban environment with a fluid free-running system that rewards agility and momentum. The combat is visceral and intense, relying heavily on crafted weapons like modified bats, machetes, and electrified tools. Resources are scarce, forcing players to scavenge during the day when the infected are less aggressive. But once night falls, the game shifts dramatically. More powerful predators known as volatiles emerge, turning the hunter into the hunted. This day-night cycle adds a deep layer of tension, pushing players to weigh risk and reward with every move. The game also features RPG elements such as skill trees for agility, power, and survival, as well as co-op multiplayer for up to 4 players. In its Be the Zombie mode, players can even invade others' games as a powerful infected. Dying Light received praise for its parkour mechanics, dynamic combat, and atmospheric world. It was nominated for several awards and became a cult hit, praised for redefining zombie survival in the genre. With its mix of adrenaline-pumping action and horror, Dying Light remains a standout title in the post-apocalyptic gaming world. Just Cause 3 is an explosive open-world action-adventure game developed by Avalanche Studios and published by Square Enix, released on December 1, 2015. It's available on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Microsoft Windows. Set in the fictional Mediterranean island nation of Medici, the game follows the story of Rico Rodriguez, a fearless operative returning to his homeland to overthrow the brutal dictator General Di Ravello, whose regime controls the country with an iron fist. The story kicks off with Rico parachuting into Medici, armed with a massive arsenal and a rebellious attitude. As a one-man army, he teams up with local resistance fighters to dismantle the dictator's forces, destroy military bases, and bring chaos to the regime's grip on power. The narrative is filled with over-the-top action, cinematic set pieces, and a touch of humor, as Rico becomes the spark for a full-scale revolution. Gameplay in Just Cause 3 is all about freedom, creativity, and spectacular destruction. The massive open world spans lush coastlines, rugged mountains, and sprawling cities, giving players the tools and space to wreak havoc however they please. Rico is equipped with a signature grappling hook, parachute, and wingsuit, allowing for unmatched mobility as players zip across terrain, hijack vehicles midair, and rain down destruction from above. The physics-driven environment encourages experimentation. Players can tether enemies to explosive barrels, cause chain reactions with fuel tanks, or drop massive statues with well-placed charges. Weapons range from rocket launchers and assault rifles to remote explosives, all designed to enhance the chaos. Beyond the main story, the game offers a wide range of side missions, challenges, and collectibles, as well as massive bases and outposts to liberate, each designed with verticality and destructibility in mind. Vehicles, from fighter jets to speedboats, can be used in both combat and traversal, adding even more variety to the sandbox experience. Just Cause 3 was praised for its vast open world, exhilarating traversal mechanics, and high-octane action, becoming a go-to title for fans of explosive sandbox gameplay. While the story takes a back seat to the spectacle, the game's emphasis on player-driven mayhem has earned it a lasting spot in the genre of open-world chaos. Rise of the Tomb Raider is a cinematic action-adventure game developed by Crystal Dynamics and published by Square Enix and Microsoft Studios, initially released on November 10, 2015 for Xbox One and Xbox 360, with later releases on PlayStation 4 and Microsoft Windows. This thrilling sequel to the 2013 Tomb Raider reboot continues the story of Lara Croft, as she embraces her destiny as an adventurer and archaeologist. The story follows Lara on a dangerous expedition to Siberia, where she searches for the lost city of Kitez and the secrets of immortality hidden within it. Driven by the mysterious death of her father and pursued by the ruthless paramilitary organization known as Trinity, Lara races against time to uncover ancient truths and protect a powerful artifact from falling into the wrong hands. Along the way, she faces brutal environments, deadly enemies, and the emotional weight of survival, discovery, and belief. Gameplay in Rise of the Tomb Raider blends cinematic storytelling with dynamic exploration, combat, and puzzle solving. Players traverse stunning environments, from frozen mountain peaks to crumbling tombs, using climbing axes, rope arrows, and Lara's athletic skills. The game emphasizes survival and crafting. Players scavenge for materials to upgrade weapons, create ammunition, and craft gear in real time. Combat is fluid and tactical, offering stealth options, bow mastery, and a wide range of weapons to take down enemies strategically. One of the highlights of the gameplay experience is the return of classic tomb raiding, challenging, optional puzzle-filled tombs filled with ancient traps and environmental puzzles that reward exploration and clever thinking. The game also features RPG elements such as skill trees and equipment upgrades, allowing players to tailor Lara's abilities to their playstyle, whether it's stealthy, aggressive, or survival-focused. Rise of the Tomb Raider received critical acclaim for its visuals, narrative, and refined gameplay mechanics. It won numerous awards, including Outstanding Achievement in Character at the DICE Awards and Best Action/Adventure Game from Game Critics Awards. With its mix of heart-pounding action, emotional storytelling, and classic tomb exploration, Rise of the Tomb Raider solidified Lara Croft's place as one of gaming's most iconic heroes. Dirt Rally is a high-intensity rally racing simulator developed and published by Codemasters, officially released on December 7, 2015 for Microsoft Windows, with later releases on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One in 2016. Part of the long-running Dirt series, this entry takes a bold turn towards realism and challenge, offering one of the most authentic and unforgiving rally racing experiences ever created. Unlike traditional racing games, Dirt Rally is all about precision, patience, and mastery of the terrain. Players take control of powerful rally cars and push them to their limits across treacherous off-road courses in locations like Greece, Wales, Monaco, Germany, and Sweden. Each track is filled with tight corners, unpredictable surfaces, and dynamic weather conditions that demand intense focus and skill. There are no second chances, one wrong turn, one missed call from your co-driver, and it's all over. The gameplay emphasizes pure, technical driving. Every bump, skid, and slide feels grounded in realism, with a physics system that punishes reckless driving and rewards smooth, controlled inputs. The cockpit view is immersive, giving players a true sense of speed and danger, while the co-driver delivers real-time pace notes that are essential to survival. Cars can be damaged during races, affecting performance and requiring strategic repairs between stages. The game features a wide selection of classic and modern rally cars, each with unique handling characteristics and tuning options. Dirt Rally also includes career and championship modes, letting players build a team, earn money, and rise through the rally ranks. Leaderboards and time trials add a competitive edge, encouraging players to perfect every stage. For the most dedicated racers, the game also offers VR support and mobile compatibility, heightening the immersion even further. Critically acclaimed for its depth, realism, and challenge, Dirt Rally was praised as a return to form for rally racing. It won over both sim enthusiasts and critics, earning awards like Best Racing Game from IGN and becoming a cornerstone of modern rally sims. With its intense driving mechanics and uncompromising authenticity, Dirt Rally remains a standout title in the world of motorsport gaming. Assassin's Creed Syndicate is a historical action-adventure game developed by Ubisoft Quebec and published by Ubisoft, released on October 23, 2015 for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, with a PC release shortly after. Set in the gritty, industrial streets of London in 1868, during the height of the Victorian era, the game follows twin assassins Jacob and Evie Fry as they battle to free the city from the iron grip of the Templars. The story begins as the Fry twins arrive in London to find the Templars in full control, running the banks, the criminal underworld, and even the law. With differing personalities and approaches, Jacob being brash and confrontational, Evie more stealthy and strategic, the twins form a gang known as the Rooks, and lead an underground revolution to reclaim the city, borough by borough. Along the way, they cross paths with historical figures like Charles Dickens, Alexander Graham Bell, Charles Darwin, and Queen Victoria, all while uncovering a hidden artifact linked to the ancient ISU civilization. Gameplay in Assassin's Creed Syndicate offers a fresh twist on the classic series formula. Players can switch between Jacob and Evie at will, utilizing their unique combat styles and abilities. Jacob excels in brutal brawls, while Evie specializes in stealth and infiltration. The game introduces new tools like the rope launcher, allowing players to scale buildings quickly or zipline across rooftops, transforming navigation and verticality. Combat is fast-paced and melee-focused, inspired by the gritty street fighting of the time. Players can also commandeer carriages, engage in high-speed chases, and battle rival gangs in the open streets of London. The city itself is one of the most detailed and atmospheric environments in the series, rich with soot, smoke, and culture. Each borough has its own challenges, side missions, and hidden secrets. Players can upgrade their gang, unlock gear, and develop skill trees to suit different playstyles. Assassin's Creed Syndicate received praise for its dual protagonists, historical setting, and improvements to movement and combat. It won awards like Best Action/Adventure Game at the Canadian Video Game Awards and was noted for breathing new life into the series after previous entries. With its blend of historical intrigue, dynamic gameplay, and revolutionary spirit, Syndicate stands as a unique and stylish chapter in the Assassin's Creed saga. Final Fantasy XIV, Heavensward is the critically acclaimed first expansion to Square Enix's massively multiplayer online role-playing game, Final Fantasy XIV, officially released on June 23, 2015 for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, and Microsoft Windows. Set in the high fantasy world of Eorzea, Heavensward takes players beyond the familiar lands into the snow-covered kingdom of Ishgard, a city locked in a centuries-long war with the mighty, dragonkind nation of Dravania. The story picks up where the base game A Realm Reborn left off. After being cast out and branded as a traitor, the Warrior of Light finds refuge in the cold and war-torn city of Ishgard. As tensions rise and ancient truths come to light, players are thrust into the heart of the Dragonsong War, an epic conflict fueled by betrayal, divine secrets, and bloodlines cursed by ambition. With new allies and old enemies, the Warrior of Light must uncover the history between man and dragon, and ultimately decide the fate of both. Heavensward expands the core gameplay in every direction. The level cap increases from 50 to 60, and the expansion introduces 3 powerful new jobs: the Dark Knight, a shadowy tank wielding greatswords, the Astrologian, a support healer who draws power from celestial cards, and the Machinist, a ranged attacker with firearms and mechanical gadgets. Players can now soar into the skies on flying mounts, opening up vertical exploration for the first time in the game. New dungeons, raids, and sprawling zones enrich the world, offering challenges for solo adventurers and coordinated parties alike. One of the major highlights is the Alexander Raid series, an epic mechanical fortress with time-bending twists and high-stakes battles. Heavensward also introduces the new playable race, the ORA, with their distinctive horns, scales, and mysterious origins. Beyond the mechanics, what makes Heavensward truly shine is its storytelling. With complex characters, morally gray factions, and an emotional arc that spans tragedy and hope, it's widely regarded as one of the best Final Fantasy stories in years, even outside of MMO standards. The expansion was met with widespread critical acclaim, winning awards such as Best MMO from Game Informer and Best RPG at the massively overpowered awards. Its success helps solidify Final Fantasy XIV as a premier MMORPG, transforming it into one of the most beloved live service games in modern history.